Thanks, I know. I would like to talk today about very important changes that are going on in our academic community, meaning that the academic community is more and more involved into teacher education and training. And I think we see a different approach. Yes, we're talking about knowledge platforms, knowledge networking, and how to promote this networking. And I think we see some fundamental changes in this sphere, which are important from different perspectives. Allow me to focus on that. This is, I would say, case study in a way. And we know that after the pedagogical universities were dissolved, we had to integrate teacher education into so-called comprehensive universities. And this could be regarded as an alternative. And we were not sure whether we should have larger or smaller teacher training centers, which should be integrated into the universities, or maybe some other alternative. And there was a transformation of our understanding, perception of teacher training. Of course, these are hypothetical questions, because we are talking about what? Academic networking, meaning the nurturing of so-called knowledge in a way when it comes to teacher training. First and foremost, I think it's a huge advantage that the university has become involved into teacher training issues, and meaning that universities have become new players, significant players of education. Even in the past, our researchers, they were involved into teacher education, but that was more on various commissions, bureaucrats, made commissioned researchers to conduct some studies. And now university has become, as I said, a very important actor and a player in the educational field. And a strong partner, I would say, in the field of education. Now, I mentioned some drastic changes. So what are they? I want to mention my colleague, Alfredas Bublauskas, a popular historian, and some 40 years ago, Alfredas wrote the following, that a researcher, a historian, has researched many treatises, many books, and actually in order to identify the main sources. And this historian and researcher is like a church mouse, meaning working hard. This was the researcher's role in the past. On the other hand, a teacher of history probably is not interested in going or in taking a deep analysis of the sources. He's waiting for the researchers, for the curriculum to be presented. Yes, it's a bit with a sense of humor that I speak, but a bit out of date. But, studies research shows that we still have deep-rooted understanding or perception of such a role ascribed to the teacher. Due to Germany's role in the 20th century, history of the 20th century, historians, I am talking about German socio-economic school, they have discovered historian consciousness, and they think that learning history is one aspect of our historian consciousness, promoting our historical consciousness and the core of all knowledge. And we have to understand the history in order to better perceive what happened in the past and make forecasts of what might happen in the future. Meaning we're not talking about any hierarchy anymore. We're talking in the field of education. We're talking about many stakeholders. We're talking about student, about teacher, about and without any hierarchy. But and meaning various research of history consciousness show that it's obvious that this academic consciousness is not uniform, even held by a historian, and therefore the academic research in the field of history are so much needed. Maybe these types of research can be determined by the so-called historical consciousness. Maybe not. But what conclusions can we draw from that? We, academic community, I think we have to change the perception of education so that we understand the importance of the network consisting of partners transforming the educational sphere. But when we talk about this networking, which promotes the knowledge, then, of course, the changes have to be introduced into the consciousness of all the partners of this networking, meaning the stereotypes have to change. And the stereotypes we had in the past are no longer meaningful. So the question arises, meaning, I was talking about history more, but can it be transformed to other subjects? I think yes. The answer is yes. And now, allow me to talk about two models, consecutive and parallel teacher education models. And allow me to remind you of one again story, something that happened in our university. Several dozens of physicists, they chose bachelors, and they chose pedagogical studies as a supplementary subject, but they didn't want that, see? And their argument was that it might have a negative influence on their career pathway in the future. And they thought that pedagogical studies could be a stigma, complicating the career pathway of a physicist. And in order to actually, we thought of a solution. When they were handed the bachelor's diplomas, this pedagogical study was not written in it, not for them not to have any stigma. And we thought it was just a perfect solution taken by administration of those days. But now I think it was a huge mistake. We just wanted to flatter the bureaucracy of those days. And this was inevitable probably at that time. See, pedagogical studies were regarded as this huge stigma. And now I would say you can say it was a good solution if we look at the educational field as full of hierarchy, okay? And meaning something imposed. And but if we look at the field of education as a network of partners promoting the knowledge, it's a huge mistake, because we actually flooded or just to the bureaucracy and the hierarchy existing at that time. So I think it's now I am ready to talk about the consecutive and parallel models of teacher training. meaning a teacher who chooses pedagogical studies also acquires the qualification of a pedagogue and is awarded this diploma. And this is something that was going on in the pedagogical universities, meaning a person who chose chemistry or physics or whatever, and at the same time he could become a teacher. He was given the qualifications of a teacher. So that was in the past, meaning at the same time they were given some knowledge of pedagogical studies. And meaning you need some 60 credits, let's say, of pedagogical studies, which is necessary to be given the qualification, granted the qualification of a teacher, and then you can go to school and become a teacher. I wrote an article in which I tried to criticize this parallel model, and I was in favor of the consecutive model. But again, it was a mistake. I think these two models are going to compete in the future. However, it should be stated that the recognition of the parallel model requires drastic changes in this networking of partners promoting knowledge and meaning that we should start the transmission to the vertical model of educating teachers. The networking, meaning we have to somehow dispel the myth that the stigmas in teacher training system. And we are now talking about the phenomenon based on learning and networking, and this is truly relevant because both the teacher and the student, from the perspective of this networking, promoting knowledge, are equal partners. And
now the last part of my presentation. So what is the situation in Lithuania? We have 30 centers, 10 methodological centers, Vilnius center we're going to cooperate is to be opened soon. Steep concept I'm interested in, and I would like to tell about the project uniting administrators, politicians, students, teachers, to perceive different STEAM approaches. Now, of course, we have to speak about the restrictions in the labor market today. In this model, it is related directly to the scientific sciences, and in this case, we speak about the subject competences, which are relevant for the extensive development of the economy. STEAM concept is related to the stem from the Cold War. Soviet Sputnik awakened the American scientific education reform. On the other hand, STEM is related to the systematic development of the conscience, closely related to the research of scientific technologies, STS, scientific technological changes. And in this case, we speak about the anthropological approach, about the ecological conscious, about the world view, advancing the the ecological issues. Now, coming back to the ideology, in the blockbuster Avatar, we could see that very clearly. STS Guru Bruno Laturas. And do we treat STEM as a reform aimed to reform sciences and to make students more powerful? I do recall the film. Or other part which could initiate fundamental changes requiring labor market changes related to the increasing competition, development of the economy, exploiting the natural resources, and reaching the ecological conscience related to the preserving preserving the land. And the discussions are still coming concerning this topic. Coming to the teaching of teachers, to education of teachers, we're coming back to education, to the psychological laboratories. In STEM centers, the children are going to investigate the world, and together with the teachers, we will have a possibility to investigate or to analyze children investigating the world. So it is very important to establish a system to providing cooperation between scientists, pupils, and teachers. And everything is related to the development of innovations. So this is a unique chance to accumulate the powers for some scientific communication, to the education of teachers, and to the reform of teacher education and education of all the concerned parties. Of course, the teachers are the partners of this networking. Their involvement, engagement in the networking itself, hierarchical structure, which is becoming a horizontal network. The coming of teachers to the universities makes fuss in the academic society. There are new partners emerging, which promote the review of the system itself. Thank you. I would like to thank for the idea to prepare teachers in the comprehensive universities. Successful integration of teachers is directly related to from switching to the education paradigm to the education paradigm related or based on the sustainable development. Thank you for your attention.